Hello once again. We are just out of Skiku Bay trying to make it to Cedar Island. And right now the winds have piped up quite a lot. I've got the second reef in and we're just kind of jogging here hoping to get the winds down a little bit so that we can actually make way towards Cedar Island. We're making distance but not very well. Like I said, I got the second reef in. So far it's been a really good day. Left Dayton about 9:30, 9:45. Took about an hour and a half to make it to Wild Horse Island. And now we're just slowly making our way towards Cedar Island, which I will show you here in just a second. We, on the other hand, are at second reef and we're at dump truck right now. We are moving at about maybe 2.5 knots and just over the waves, through the waves, but I've got no heel on the boat again. We're at about 10 degrees, maybe 10, 15 degrees of heel, but once we snubbed that sail down, she just started riding like a dump truck, so I'm going to flip you around and we're going to take a look at what else is out here. Sorry for the wind noise, but as I said, it's a little bit windy. I've got my sort of auto steering engaged here. I'm doing a pretty good job of just keeping this pointed to wind here. But it's definitely piping up. But we're just a little dump truck out here. Got no heel on the boat. We're driving the weather. Taking some spray over the bow, but I don't feel like we're in danger or anything. It's just a little bit windy out here. So, like I said, there we are at our second reef. And hopefully we can make the bay here during daylight. So, we watched the racers leave this morning. They were doing a figure eight around Cromwell and the Islands. It'll be interesting to see how that shapes up. But, you know, you can definitely see that there's some wind. Definitely got some wind today. I'm gonna get back to sailing here. But there is Skiku Bay that we just left. We're not gaining a lot. Wild Horse Island, or Cedar Island, over there, next to Shelter Island with the big house on it. You can see them right out there. That's where we're heading. So, well, the wind has come down enough that I've shaken out those last two reefs. Well, the only two reefs, I guess. And we are currently headed basically southeast away from, and then we're going to make a turning and head towards Cedar Island. The winds have been pretty constant, variable today, which has been fun. But so far the boat has handled it marvelously. There hasn't been really any problems other than the fact that I happen to own a relatively slow boat. But I knew I was going to own a slow boat when I bought this one. If we were to stay on this tack, we would be headed towards the Narrows and the Bull Islands. But we're just doing this so that we can gain an angle. I'm going to use the word offing. I don't think that's correct, but I'm going to use it anyway because it's very nautical. So we can gain our offing and actually make a run towards Cedar Island. The following passage is magical. The great thing about Flathead is the ability to set a course and sail without trimming or really steering. The virtues of the Fat Cat 2 came to light as I lounged in the cockpit and enjoyed the burbling water and the spectacular scenery, and Josh spread out in the cabin. Turned the corner north, and Cedar Island came into view. The wind kept up, and in what seemed like no time at all, we were anchored off our destination. I had put another check in my voting bucket list. Well, it's going on about 6 o'clock, and we are here at Cedar Island. We have made our goal, and we had a really beautiful sail coming in. The wind was just perfect, and we made a really good time coming across. But right now, I've got an anchor off the stern, and I'm triple lined off the bow, and I'm going to be here until tomorrow morning. I've been wondering a lot about how I was going to actually anchor once I made landfall, and like so many things with small boat sailing, and especially small boat camp sailing, the only way to do it is to do it, and it's all empirical testing. I couldn't ask more from a boat. It's a slow boat, it's not a fast boat, but it'll get you there, and yeah, I have learned a lot. It reefs beautifully, it unreefs beautifully. I am beginning to understand how I would do it by myself if I didn't have someone in the boat. We are basically 3 weeks out from our Washington trip, where we'll sail saltwater for the first time. We're going to go to the Pocket Yacht Palooza in Port Townsend, Washington on the 20th of July. And then originally it was slated to do a series of day sailing in Squim Bay. Their boat launch is closed, so there is no group getting together in Squim Bay for sailing. However, we have spent a fair amount of money. That is, myself, the lady, and my friend Dan have spent a fair amount of money getting a campsite there for 3 days. So we're going to Squim Bay. We'll launch from the John Wayne Marina, and we'll day sail if we have to, or we'll go into Port Townsend, or we'll do something else. A guy by the name of David Bixby had a CLC Scary that he sailed for a couple of years, and he wrote about it. There's one called Cedar Island Odyssey. If you go on Google and look up Cedar Island Odyssey, you can find his piece on that. And then he wrote another one that he posted up in my small boat group that I transposed and put in our Facebook notes. That was one of the first stories that I read when it came to small boats and sailing. And it was a story about going out in a small boat, sailing across the lake, setting up for the night, and sailing home. And I decided that was something that I wanted to do someday. So for the first time since I started sailing, really, I'm at Cedar Island, and I'm going to be spending the night here. And I definitely have the boat to do it. This has been a really good boat for this type of sailing, for the type of sailing that I want to do. It's comfortable, it's weatherly, it handles the type of weather that this lake throws at it. Give you a look around where I am. So this is the landing beach here. There's another island in the middle of this channel here. That island is called Rock Island. And it's a tiny island kind of in the middle. But what I want to do is see if I can get you to see this here. So this is the most expensive property ever sold in Montana. It's an entire island there on Shelter Island. That's the main house. There's a boathouse on the other side. There are drone pictures of this place. It's absolutely huge. That's the mansion on Shelter Island. Anyway, here's looking back towards Elmo and Dayton and Big Arm, my normal sailing grounds. There are actually sails out there right now. There are people still sailing out there. There must have been a dozen boats out today. But that's normally where I sail, over there, and I've come there. Over there is Kiku Bay, where we came earlier today. And then there's the end of Wild Horse. And heading out that way, you go around that point, you're looking at the Bull Islands, and eventually on into Polson and Finley Point, if you so desired. So that's kind of where I am. And if we look this way, you can kind of see the landing beach here. There were some pontoon boats here earlier, but we chased them off. And then there is a look at some of Flathead Lake's famous clear water. There's a picture floating around the internet of being able to see all the way to the bottom in a pretty deep area, and it's true. There's my rear anchor line there. But yeah, you can literally see the bottom. It's crystal clear. This is definitely one of the treasures of my state, and I am pleased and privileged to be able to come sailing here. So anyway, I'll probably update in the morning as we head out, heading back to Dayton and get back to our mundane lives. But this is where I get to sail, and this is something I've wanted to do for a long time.